That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild, strawberry ice bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy Slide is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's Slide is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trennepohl, and as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And you know what? I'm always coming to you live from that ice cream.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. You tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
And as always, thanks to all my great sponsors, Priority Lawn and Landscaping, T Properties, Meyer Window, Door, and more, and not Moorline Lager House, Cincinnati Lager House. Maybe tomorrow I have the new logo up. But what is going on to everybody in the chat? We've got, let's see here, scroll up here. Brad's in there first. Augie's in there. Tony Blazin. Skilled Taskmaster. Tradesmaster. There you go. I always mess your name up. Jeremy, what's going on? Vanguard's in there. And yeah, I think it's everybody. All right. Welcome to the show. Before we get to skinny, we got some news of the day. The Bengals, as soon as I say I'm out, I'm pissed off, I'm so tired of them not doing anything, they're going to do something. Now, it's not a big splash, but it is something that will help the defensive line. They signed Jonathan Allen today, and I got the stats right here. Signed Jonathan Allen to a 2-year contract, $28 million deal. Now, I'm sure Skinny's got a lot more information on this whole thing than I do. What's next is what I want to know. They still need a linebacker. I would like to have another edge. Max Crosby? Like I said, it's still pie in the sky stuff. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. I'm going to keep talking about it until it doesn't happen. But they do have some news about Caleb Banks. Some people are worried about the Bengals drafting him at 10. Well, according to Dane Brewer, sources, defensive tackle Caleb Banks suffered a broken foot at the combine that sidelined him till June. The injury happened the night before his on-field testing, his performance and partial workout, not knowing the extent of the injury. The fracture of the fourth metatarsal was surgically repaired by Dr. Nolan Wardrop on March 9th. So, anybody who's worried about the Bengals getting Caleb Downs in number 10, I'm pretty sure that's set sail. They're not going to do that. But with that being said, somebody who knows a lot more about this information than I do, he's been doing this forever. He used to be one of the anchor guys. Now he's just a nice guy. He's the one and only Richard Skinner. Skinny, what is going on, my man?
How you doing, man?
I'm just living the dream here, man, trying to find out what the hell the Bengals are doing. As soon as I think they're not going to do anything else, they sign somebody. Like I said, it's okay. It's good. I'm not going to crap on it. It could have been better, but I'm okay with it. But what's your thoughts on Jonathan Allen? I'll just put that to you there.
It's interesting because Al Golden was at Peter Woods, the Clemson defensive tackle, his workout today, his pro day today. And I wonder if they looked and saw and went, and said, we got to go get something else. And Jonathan Allen is something else. Now, I will tell you, I mean, metrically, he was top 10 in quarterback pressures among defensive linemen, interior defensive linemen last year. Didn't have a lot of sacks, 3.5 sacks, but you want some interior pressure. That's what the goal was this offseason, was to find somebody that could be a rotational piece. But I find it like they're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. They talked at the combine like they still like B.J. Hill, and they talked effusively about Chris Jenkins. I'm not telling you that I agree with their praise of those guys, but where does Jonathan Allen fit in this mix now? Now, maybe it becomes B.J. Hill does become a cap casualty because Jonathan Allen's not a nose tackle. You'd be more of a 3-technique-ish guy, and you felt like, at least in the offseason, they did, that you had 2 guys. I truly thought that they were targeting John Franklin Myers from Denver. He went to the Titans, and it was interesting because right after he went to the Titans came the 2 reports on Monday of Boye Mafe and Brian Cook in reverse order.
Right.
So it was almost like they felt like that's where our money's going, and it's not going there now, so let's pivot and go to these guys and fill 2 other needs, and they did. Again, I'm not anti-Jonathan Allen. I just don't know where the fit is unless they looked at Peter Woods' workout today and went, we got to go do something, because it feels like they really overpaid for Jonathan Allen.
They did. I mean, not a ton. I mean, they could have got. I'm not going to say his name right.
You could have paid Leo Chenal that money.
You could have
actually had money left over.
That would have been great. I would have went through the roof if they would have got Chenal. That would have been. That's the guy I thought they were going to get. To be honest,
they didn't. They didn't.
But
what's left is awful. I mean, the rest of the linebacker group is awful.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner for linebacker. I mean, maybe
God love him. Can he still run?
Yeah,
he's a smart guy. He knows how to play. He's a veteran. They need a veteran there, but can he play? I mean, Leo Chenal can still play.
Well, for his knowledge, I think it would be immense for the young guys in the linebacker room. But can he still play? It looks like he can't. I don't know. But I mean, getting back to Jonathan Allen, the way I looked at it is I think it's going to be rotational. It's because we need to, if they keep B.J. Hill. Yeah. You got to get snaps off of him. He
agree, but that's what Chris Jenkins is supposed to be, right?
Right. Well, Chris Jenkins, I think he might just be the run stopper because he's not a pass rusher guy.
I don't think he's a run stopper either.
Well, true. But he's a better run stopper than he is pass. I mean,
I think their run stoppers are B.J. Hill and T.J. Slayton. It's not great, mind you, but I think that's what there are. That's why it almost feels like there's a cap casualty coming, and they're going to have to probably free up some room because they did pay for Jonathan Allen. They'd still, whether it's a quality player or not, they're still going to have to get a veteran linebacker. You're still going to have to get a slot corner to compete with Jalen Davis. And some of this you can do through the draft, but you also still need a backup quarterback. Real needs that they still have, and they don't have a lot of money left.
Yeah, true. True. It's and you might there are ways they could get around this. I mean, if they just restructure Joe Burrow's contract,
that would be helpful.
That would help. Which now can you? This is what I've read that they don't actually need permission from Joe Burrow to restructure his contract. Well, he already has that in his contract. Is that?
Yeah. Correct, but you also want to make the guy happy. You don't want to piss him off. And for those that, when you hear restructure, you think you're cutting a guy's salary. You're not cutting it. You're just restructuring to give him literally more money now to spread it out over the length of the contract. And the Chiefs did it with Mahomes. The Bills did it with Josh Allen. The Ravens did it with Lamar Jackson. It seems like an easy no-brainer. Now, the problem with it, if there is a problem, is you're kicking money down the road, money that you –
which they don't like to do.
They hate to do that. They hate to be.
That's why they haven't done it.
Right. That's why they don't give guaranteed money in second years of contracts, and that's why they're kind of acing themselves out a little bit. So, I just go back to day one was so good in my opinion, and it's contingent on Mafe being more than a 2-sack guy, and he probably is if you base it on other metrics because the other metrics are off the charts.
Right.
And Brian Cook is not a great ball hawk, but he's
a tackle machine, though.
Correct. I mean,
which we need badly.
He's had 9 missed tackles in the last 2 years combined. He's had 22 in his career, and Geno Stone's had 23 last season alone. So I like the signing.
Right.
Then it felt like, okay, you've really positioned yourself to attack linebacker with Chenal. I think he's a little too old, but Actually, he got more money than Chenal in Caden Ellis, and both of them are gone by that night. And then you look up, you're like, there's nobody left. And
Greenlaw just re-signed with San Francisco if they were thinking about that.
And I'm mailing him
Yeah,
because of the Achilles from a couple years ago.
I'm with you,
right.
but who else was left? That's where I'm like,
well, let me tell you who's left. There's 3 guys left that you're going to be really familiar with, my man. Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, and Akeem Davis-Gaither. There you go.
Yes!
All 3.
Bring them back.
bring the band back together. I hope that doesn't happen. So
yeah, I don't see that. I mean, Bobby Wagner would. Like I said, I keep going back to him. I wouldn't hate it. It's not what I wanted, but I wouldn't hate it.
I'm with you. But my fear is you sign him because of what he has done and what you know, and then he gets here and you're like, ooh, brother, he is over the hill now.
And which they did that with Von Bell. I mean, that's exactly.
Correct. No, correct. And I don't blame them for that. I mean, Von still felt like he had something left in the tank. Yeah. You weren't paying for him. Carolina was really paying for him because they still owed him the guaranteed money. So that was fun. I was good with that, but you could tell. And last year, they rolled the dice that Logan Wilson could give them one more good year, bring the 2 young kids along, and it was pretty clear early on that Logan Wilson had nothing left in the tank. I don't know what Jerry Jones and the Cowboys saw in Logan. They didn't see the same player that we all saw, and it didn't work out. And it sucks because Logan's a great guy, and I wish. I hope he finds the fountain of youth at some point. But this just, it feels like the Jonathan Allen thing was really reactionary to everybody screaming and yelling about well, you went and extended Orlando Brown Jr. when you should be paying attention to free agency, and the fact that you didn't sign a linebacker.
Yeah. That was now okay. Let's bring that. Were you? I was surprised that they not only extended Orlando Brown, but it's 2 years.
Yeah, but some of that money in the last year is always dead money for the most part. I mean, you can get out from under that, so I don't mind it. It does give you more time to where this felt like a draft. Believe it or not, that if you had addressed some of the defensive needs, you could have drafted the left tackle of the future in the first round, maybe second round. That guy's your swing tackle for this year. You bring him along slowly. It gives you a little more time and buffer to do that. But 2 years was interesting. I thought that was. I get it, but you can spread. Like I said, you can spread out some money a little bit.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Whenever we see these contracts, I mean, like Trey Hendrickson's contract, $112 million. The big money is the $60 million guaranteed.
Right.
The last year money of base salary, he's probably never going to see because he's going to be 35 going on 36.
The 4-year contract.
Yeah, correct. And the 4-year contract is just to spread out signing bonus money, and they're giving him a big roster bonus 1 year. So sometimes we see these contracts, we're like, oh, gosh, that guy got that much money? Well, when you really dive into it, well, he's getting this much money now, and they're not on the hook for this much money later, and so it does make some sense. And that's the same for Jonathan Allen. I mean, it's still more money than I would have thought.
Do we have the details on Allen?
I don't. I just know 2 years, 28. If I'm a guessing man, it's a $6 million bonus. It's spread out over 2 years. Maybe a roster bonus if he's on the roster next year, and $6 million base this year, and then a big base next year. I'm just spitballing that because I have not looked yet. But 2 years, 28. It always, and that's the thing. Players and agents always want this to look inflated, right? Like, oh my gosh, you got me that, or this group got me that. And then you look into it like, okay, you did get a good chunk, but it's not the chunk that everybody thinks. You're not getting all that $112 million Trey Hendrickson. You're not getting all this $28 million probably Jonathan Allen. So sometimes that stuff gets blown out of proportion.
Now, one thing I am dying to get your opinion on this whole Max Crosby thing. Not Max Crosby coming to the Bengals or any of that stuff. The Ratbirds, the Ravens. This is my opinion. I don't care what they saw. I'm not saying they're making stuff up, but there's stuff there with his knee because he had surgery.
There is stuff, yep.
So you can fail him on that, but I can't sit there and go, oh, they found something that's so horrible that they had to get out of it. My opinion is they got fleeced in free agency, and they're going, crap, we gave up 2 first-round picks for this guy, and we can get Trey for how much?
Yep.
That's what I think's going on. I don't care what they're saying. What do you think?
I think you're right. I do think the medicals were probably even worse, although they knew the medicals going in and still were willing to do it. But to your point, I think they worked both ends against the middle, and I thought the GM of the Ravens kind of tipped the handle a little bit where he said, we were trying to get both of them. No, you weren't. You couldn't afford both of them, man. And still they still have to fix the interior offensive line. So it's fun.
so many guys.
All of them. Also, their whole interior offensive line is a mess at the moment.
Right.
And so I don't believe they were trying to get both of them. I
No.
think they were trying to get one of them. And when the medicals maybe gave him enough of a cold feet to say, and then at the same time you're negotiating with the Trey Hendrickson during the legal negotiation period, and you get to a price point where Trey was over $30 million at 1 point per year, and then they came down enough to where you go, okay, that seems good for both of us. Let's do that. And oh, by the way, Raiders, the medicals are enough for us to say thanks, but no thanks. And it's perfectly under the rules.
Yeah,
And
it's legal.
It's
It's shady as hell, but it's legal.
It might be. But again, maybe you did take a deeper look into the medicals and went, ooh, now wait a minute. If we can get this guy over here without the medical issues, although don't forget, Trey's coming back off of surgery himself. I mean, only played 7 games last year because of core muscle surgery.
Yeah.
But to your point, I think you're right. I think they played both ends against the middle, and once they came to a comfortable landing spot financially with Trey Hendrickson, they went, we're good, and we can use this as an excuse. And it's a legit excuse.
Well,
I mean,
and
nobody's denying the fact that the guy's got a knee issue.
Right. And the other crazy thing is Trey's coming out saying that they told Trey that they were trying to sign both of them. Now, I don't think Trey's lying.
No way.
I think the Ravens were lying to Trey. That's what I think. I mean, but
don't be. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
something doesn't pass the sniff test here.
No, correct. And again, they couldn't afford both. There's no way they can afford both. Even though they restructured Lamar, they've got so much they still have to.
Well, they were going to restructure Max's contract. They said. I heard that too.
Good luck with that.
Just none of this makes any sense, and I'm like, it's irritating because it's just shady crap that you shouldn't be able to get away with. Well, and like if people say you should get rid of the right, but people say you should get rid of the tampering period. This could have happened without the tampering period because no deals are done until he passes the physical. So this can happen today, next year, during any time. It has nothing to do with the tampering period.
And it's funny because it is called the legal tampering period, but that's a misnomer. That's what it used to be because there used to be no window. Now it's literally a legal negotiation period where you got a couple of days to negotiate contracts. Mm-hmm. They negotiated a trade. They thought the trade was going to work out. And to the point of, again, you're during that period of time where nothing becomes official till 4 o'clock on Wednesday, you can go back and go, oh, wait a minute, Trey Hendrickson's going to sign with us for this? That's in our ballpark. It's less than we're going to pay Max Crosby, and we're going to keep our 2 first-round picks? Yeah, and again, I get what you're saying about shady, but I think it was also smart business on their part. Like, they were desperate for a pass rusher. No. I think they made a desperate move on both cases. I just don't think Trey Hendrickson's got much left in the tank.
I think they were the only ones that were going to give the Raiders 2 first rounds.
Correct. And I think they're the only ones that were going to give Trey Hendrickson this kind of guaranteed money. Yes. I don't think anybody else was giving him this guarantee. I think they went, you know what? We're desperate. We can get Trey Hendrickson for cheaper. We don't have to give up 2 first-round picks. Trey's going to be happy enough because it's close enough to the money he wants. Probably not totally what he wants. Again, he wanted north of $30 million per year.
Yeah, he wanted Max Crosby's money is what he wanted.
Correct.
And sorry, get that. I love Trey. Trey's not as good as Max. He's not as good an all-around player as Max Crosby is. I said that when Trey wanted to get his money. I was like, he's not as good as Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. He's not. He's a hell of a pass rusher, but he's crap on run defense.
Yes, he is. And his whole deal is going to sack the quarterback. I mean,
which is great at it.
It's just great, and he's great at it.
Yeah.
But there are tons of times where you watch him off the snap get so far up the field where he gets influenced and they run something inside of him, and you're like, dude, can you just hold your responsibility one time? And I don't want to crap on Trey, because I want to tell you this, and I think you'll agree with this. Yeah. Trey was the greatest Bengals free agent signing ever.
Absolutely.
It was a win-win for both until it wasn't, and now it's not. And so don't be mad at the Bengals for how this turned out. Hell, don't be mad at Trey Hendricks for him going and searching to get his money. Just go, you know what? It worked out for both of us in the time frame it worked out. It's just time to part ways.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got a super chat here from Augie, so I'll put that. Thanks for $5 super chat there, Aug. Ratbirds played dirty. Massive snowball effect on the stunt they pulled. Teams aimed for Max signing, but guys thinking he was off the table is total bull.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say to that, though, is if you didn't want him to be off the table, Team A or Team B, make the same offer. Make a better offer.
And nobody was going to. Yeah,
that's what I get your point, but if other teams are mad about that and went and signed other guys, if you wanted Max Crosby that bad, make an offer better.
Right. And I wanted him, but I mean, I was mad. I was mad when he went there, and people were like, "Well, you'd have give up two first round picks, which I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have gave up two first. I would have gave him. Like you said, hell, I'd call him up right now. I'd give him number 10 and maybe a second round next year for him right now. It's what I would do.
I don't know, man. I differ only because you're not one guy away. If you were one guy away,
yeah, but you're going to add. Say, all right, let's say you add Baines at 10. You got Max.
Right, but here's the thing: if you'd added Max Crosby, I'm not sure there's much else you could have done to fix that defense. The money would have been gone.
True. Well, if you restructure Burrow's contract,
well, that would have helped. That's for sure would have helped. Yeah, I'd be in the camp if like you look around and go, man, we're one dude away, and we got this pot of money, and we don't need to do much else. I'm all in on Max Crosby because he is a great player. But when you had so much to fix. To me, I think the prudent move was not to do anything with Max Crosby because it stinks because he is a great player. There's no doubt about that. But he's also, I mean, if this degenerative knee thing is real and it's not going to get a whole lot better over time and he's going to have to continue to play through it, maybe it's best for all parties other than the Raiders that nobody did anything for him.
Right, exactly. Sorry, so let's get back to the Bengals here.
Yep.
So we need, let's just go through this here. We need probably another edge, a linebacker, a tight end, probably a quarterback.
No, I think you're good at tight end.
They're good.
Because if Eric All's deemed himself healthy, Eric All, Gesicki, Drew Sample, the tight end room's fine. I'm with you. You do need a backup quarterback, slot corner. Mm-hmm. You need probably more depth at safety, which means is not off the table. I think Caleb Downs is still very much in play as a draft pick. Mm-hmm. You haven't fixed, but at least you've addressed interior defensive line and edge. I don't think you definitively need another edge. I wouldn't mind another edge, to your point. I think that would be on the priority list down
because
a little bit lower.
Right now, you're right in the same spot you were last year.
That's correct. It was Seth Johnson as your fourth edge at the moment. And so, I'm with you. I mean, like, I was disappointed the following two things happened. Clavon Chason went somewhere else and you didn't make a run for him, and Chenal went. If you'd have gotten those two guys, and honestly, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Ice. If they had even not addressed defensive tackle, and maybe we're going to make the decision of we're just going to try to stop the run with Slayton and Hill. Chris Jenkins rotates in, McKinley Jackson rotates in some, and on third down we kick Shamar Stewart inside with Mafe and Miles Murphy or Mafe and whomever else, and maybe Miles kicks inside. I think I'd have been good with that. The other part too. At the combine, talking to Al Golden, it really sounds like he wants to blitz more, that he didn't trust the rookie linebackers last year, not just for them blitzing, but to react to the blitzing. And the fact that Geno Stone can't tackle, so when you blitz him, he's not going to tackle.
He can't tackle you and me.
Correct, that's correct. So I do think that they can do this more as a collective. Now, time will tell. Mm-hmm. I will say this, and it's a fact. It's not a made-up stat, and we can argue who they played down the stretch. They recorded 23 tackles over the 23 sacks over the last 8 games.
They got better. Yes.
You prorate that out. That's a 50 sack team. Mm-hmm. 50 sack team is pretty good. Yeah. And that's without. Listen, if it would have been Trey Hendrickson having 22 of those sacks, then I'd gone, oh boy. Well, he didn't play down the stretch, and so those games that they did those things sack wise came without Trey Hendrickson. So they started.
No. Skinny is frozen. Let's see here. Hopefully he'll come back. I'll just talk to Augie here. What upgrades? Oh, you're back? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now I can hear you.
Right now from a free agent, I'd give him a C+ because I think they did a couple of good things, but not enough.
Yeah, I was like, first day, I'm like, it's
A-, B+,
yeah, exactly. If I'm like, this is the way they're going to start out, cool. And then nothing until today, it's like, But there was something I was going to say. All right. Sonny Styles. People keep, I don't know why, but tweeting at me about this because I keep saying Baines. I think it's either Baines or Downs. I think Peter Woods has kind of knocked himself out of that. They might be able to get him in the second round. That's not.
Yeah, teams are all over the place. I would say this: teams are all over the place on that kid. I mean, I've seen people that have him as a top 10 guy, and some people, to your point, that don't have him in the first round. And I don't know what happened today. I could be spitballing on them not liking
it wasn't great that happened today. I mean, it was okay. But Sonny Styles, people keep throwing his name. I would love to get him. I don't think he's going to be a 10. Do you? Do you think there's a shot he gets down there?
I would tell you this: between Reuben Bain, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, and Peter Woods, one of those dudes is there.
Well, Caleb Downs. Sorry, not Caleb Downs, not Caleb Banks. Sorry. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, and I'm not a Caleb Banks is not good.
He broke his foot, so he's a third rounder at the earliest.
That part helped you make your decision at that point for him. And I'm not so sure Mansour Delane, the corner out of LSU, isn't out of the question either, because again, you need depth, you need a slot. There's no guarantee. Let's not forget Dax Hill and DJ Turner are eligible for extensions. And what happens if they don't get? What happens if they don't get either done? What happens if they only get one
of them done? You know,
I think they will too.
They're gonna have a contract and say, "All right, who's taking it first?" That's a whole total big old thing.
I think that's right, but let's just you need cornerback depth for the future too. So the more the merrier at that position. So there's a lot of stuff I think they can do. I mean, there is. I do think I don't want to say it's never foolproof with them, but it feels like it's almost foolproof that there's enough guys in play at 10 that you're going to get a really good player at 10 that's going to help you.
And so Ken here got Mason Delano. What do you think about him at 10?
No, that's I love him. I think he comes in and he's a slot corner from day one, and has the potential to eventually move to outside corner if you don't extend DJ Turner and Dax Hill. And if you do extend those guys, well, you got a three-headed monster at cornerback that's pretty damn good.
So, but that's only if, in my opinion, Bain and Downs are not there.
Yeah, he would be. Let me do this off the top of my head between Bain, Downs, and Sonny Styles. I think I'd actually put him ahead of Sonny Styles because of positional need or positional want. I think Delane would be third on my list, and Sonny Styles would be fourth. I do know this.
Really?
They love Sonny Styles.
You saying that Sonny Styles, you had him over Sonny Styles, even with the Bengals not adding a linebacker to this room?
Correct. Only because, are you really going to have a linebacker room that's spearheaded by 2 second-year guys and a rookie?
Yeah, but that one rookie is really freaking good.
I'm with you. Listen. I wouldn't even.
I hear you say it, but
I wouldn't be opposed to. I'm not anti Sonny Styles by any stretch. I think he's a terrific player who can do a lot of things. I mean, I think you can blitz him, good in run coverage, or good in run, good in coverage. I mean, there's a part of me that says that if you draft Sonny Styles, he beats one of those other two guys out.
Yeah. And I did ask him your super chat. You already gave me your grade. What's your grade for the Bengals?
Yeah, I'm going C+ at the moment, just because the day one was an A-, and then suddenly I started forgetting the test grade, and it just kept going down and down and down and down. I mean, I got an A- on the pop quiz, but then when the big test came, I got a C+. I mean, that
sounds like my life at school.
Correct. That's correct. That was great on the pop quiz. I had the quick memory, and then when I forgot to study or didn't study for the rest of the week, I went, oh crap! I forgot all the stuff I did at the beginning of the week. I'm just so disappointed they struck out at linebacker.
Yeah.
It feels
now
like they whiffed big time.
I'm not gonna say the word you texted me earlier today, but I totally.
You can guess what it is. They blanked it. Guess what it is when I say it blanked it up.
Exactly. I started cracking up laughing. I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, so is there any salvaging this at all? Like I said, linebacker. They're pretty much done, I think. But is there anybody else out there that's worth it? Like, you still got Bosa, you got Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, there's guys that you could ask.
I think it's just too rich at this stage of the game for hope fors. I mean, Clowney was okay last year, and Bosa's a name, but I just think they're going to come with too much of a price tag that you just can't afford to do that and do all the other things you need to do. I mean, you still, like I said, whether you're going to like the guy or not, you still need veteran linebacker. You still need at least hopefully somebody that can compete. Whether you have consideration doing this stuff in the draft or not, I mean, the draft to me at that point is great. Whatever you do there is gravy. It can't be, boy, we sure didn't get this guy, so we better go get that guy. You still need backup quarterback. I don't think is going to come cheap. I just don't. And there's just the marketplace for it is just horrifyingly bad.
You think is there any chance that Andy Dalton comes back here?
I do. I absolutely do.
I'm not against it. There's so many Bengals fans they're like, oh my God, that'd be terrible. I'm like, he's a backup quarterback. He's a very good backup quarterback. Well, I would take him.
Hey man, listen. He threw to some good guys in his day, and AJ Green and Marvin Jones in that group, right? And did pretty well. He didn't suck. He wasn't what he was. But he also took you to 5 playoffs in a row. Defense had something to do with it, but he didn't mess it up for you. He was a starting caliber, good NFL quarterback. You know what? He's going to be throwing to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. You think he isn't licking his lips like Joe Flacco did, going, "Hey, sign me up for that. I haven't thrown to guys like that in my career."
Right, exactly. That's where I'm like, if this is a destination for guys who could start, but the door is closed. Which that's one thing. Is the starting opportunities closing? Because I still think Kyler Murray is going to go to Minnesota unless he's signed.
Too. Yeah,
I think. But what other? And then Miami's
Vegas.
Close. Yeah. What other starting job is quote unquote open right now? Am I missing any?
I mean, Vegas. If they decide they don't want to have Mendoza start from,
well, they might get Kirk Cousins, is what I heard there too.
And that's possible too, to be the bridge guy. If all the, I mean, that's the thing. If you want Joe Flacco back here, and I think everybody does, you just need all the bridge possibilities to close. And because he has said he's talked.
That's what I think with Joe Flacco. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think Joe Flacco, like I think he's. If you just listen to what he says, he wants to play. If he can start,
don't blame him.
Go do that. And if he can't start, he doesn't have an opportunity, he'll come back here as long as the money's right. That's the thing. He's not going to just give it to him.
Yeah, and that'll be the interesting part because he's obviously going to get more money to go be a bridge starter than he would to be a backup. I just don't know where that price point is for both. Like $3 million here with some incentives if he has to play. That feels fair. That feels right. You know, $5 million to $6 million if he goes to become a bridge starter in Vegas. That feels right. So I think there's two things in play. But I'm just telling you, I think the backup quarterback market sucks.
Right, it does. And like once you get past hell, all right. So you got Kirk Cousins, you got Kyler Murray, Andy Dalton, and Flacco. Am I missing anybody? That's.
I mean, Mariota was in that mix until he re-upped.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it.
Let's not forget, Des Ridder started in Atlanta a couple years ago. He came in here, they kicked the tires and went, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they kicked him out, and I love Des too.
I do too. I'm with you.
But he's just.
I thought Des was the perfect guy to be a 10 to 12 year backup in this league, like Jacoby Brissett. He reminded me of Jacoby Brissett, and it just didn't work out. Yeah,
exactly. That sucks. All right, last 30 minutes here, so I want to. You got time, by the way? Don't you?
I got a little bit of time. Yep.
Okay, cool. I want to get in to my Bearcats here.
Sure.
Wes Miller, the man, in my opinion, can't coach. He can get the players to play hard for him. They like playing for him, but he doesn't know how to get them into the right rotation, what to do at the end of games. Like he had 2 timeouts left in his pocket yesterday, and they did a ball screen to a 7-footer, and then nothing happened. Like, what the hell? Is he going to be fired? I know it can't happen. It probably won't happen to April 1st, but he's got to be gone, right?
I think he has to be after yesterday. I thought he'd played himself or coached himself back into the mix with the way he played at the end of the year. I thought that was the case, but then I thought the way they played down the stretch of, putting yourself back on the bubble, and you kind of started figuring stuff out of this is my rotation and this is how you got to play in the Big 12. Might have led an AD who extended your contract, which John Cunningham did.
That's another one I think he needs to be fired.
If there's there's a lot of people with that sentiment. And if there was a donor or two that said, no, I like the guy, we're going to keep him. That he had coached his way back into that mix.
Right.
But after the debacle of yesterday, that was like a microcosm of him during this time frame here, of the team blowing leads and not running offense when it mattered. And you somehow had a guard that, and I guess I can't pin this on Wes, but I mean,
well, he's the coach.
How Jizzle James doesn't understand that there is a 10-second line that you have to get across is beyond me. I mean, that was
situational basketball. They're not prepared for.
And then the stuff at the end. Listen, for those that don't know, I'm a high school basketball coach myself, and I'm sure there are people scream that I'm an idiot, and I look at myself sometimes and I know I'm an idiot. But
he's frozen again. Come on back, Skinny. Having internet issues today. He hadn't had internet issues in a while. Are you back?
There we go. I'm back.
There you go. He's back.
And then, you with 5 seconds to go at that point when stuff's breaking down, you got to take a timeout to give yourself a chance to run.
Especially have 2 of them.
He is so lucky. I guess he's not lucky because they lost. But when he took the timeout with 0.2 on the clock, and you knew there was more time than that, but not much more.
Not much.
But for me, I'm like, that feels apropos that there should be 0.2, that the best you're going to get out of this is a lob tip because you deserve it, because that was just stupid. I mean, that was stupid. And, the overtime went haywire on them, and it's time. I thought he coached his way back into the mix. Like, okay, the buyout's enough that go ahead and bring him back for one more. Now, the weird part is the dynamic of this is he's owed just shy of $10 million if they don't do if they fire him before April 1st.
They're not firing him before April 1st. I'll be shocked if that happens.
I will too, but then I'll give you the other side. Now, the transfer portal's been backed up to after the tournament's over. Mm-hmm. So that does give you a chance if you want to wait till April 1st, as long as you have your guy in mind.
Right.
And you get your guy like that, and he can jump in. I think the portal starts April 7th, and the title game's April 1st. It's that first Monday, right after opening day. I think it's April 1st. That gives you a little window for that coach to then attack the portal pretty aggressively. So you can do that. There's also the concept of, listen, Wes, we can wait till then. If you want to go look for another head coaching job, you're going to have to wait till then. Maybe some jobs are going to be filled. Let's settle for $6 million,
right?
Okay? And make you go bye-bye. I mean, if the decision's been made to make him go bye-bye, you need to make that happen as soon as possible.
Yes.
Opinion. It's not the
great.
end of the world if you waited till April 1st. Again, as long as your guy – that's the thing. You may have a guy in mind. I mean, obviously you've heard Jared Calhoun, Josh Schertz, Utah State's coach, St. Louis's coach. They're both going to be in the tournament. What if their stay in the tournament is extended? Or what if they're knocked out really quickly and another team goes, you're my guy? And Cincinnati still hasn't fired Wes Miller to that point. And now two of your guys are off the board. And now you're down to number 3. And maybe they have another guy in mind. I'm just spitballing a little bit here.
Right.
You're rolling the dice that, well, okay, the 2 guys that we have in mind, they'll still be available. Maybe they won't be because you waited. So I think for all parties, some negotiated settlement's probably the best thing that can happen for everybody. Wes goes on his merry way with still a bag of cash, can go look for another job. There's some offset language that's going to save you money in that job. And you can start looking for your guy right away. Again, it's not end of the world for August or for April 1st, but it's not optimal.
Yeah, and that's I'll like I said, I'll be surprised if it happens before that. It needs to happen before that because all the things you just said, because everything happens so daggone fast. It's kind of like the Bengals here. They free agency happened so fast, and
you better be ready.
And they weren't. But the same thing with the Bearcats, you got to be ready to get the guy and have him ready to go and hit the ground running because the portal starts. You got to start recruiting people and get your coaching staff. Like all that stuff's got to happen quickly.
And to your earlier point, it is kind of sad because he's a junkie, and I love basketball junkies. I think he's earnest. I think he's decent. I think there's a lot of good things about it. I mean, there were times, how many times this year did it feel like they're about to head towards sub 500 and they rally? I mean, like the West Virginia loss felt like the death knell of death knells. And within a month, we're talking about NCAA tournament bubble. And gosh, can they play their way in? And listen, up 8 with 2 minutes to go yesterday, I went to the point, and listen, I'm a Kentucky grad. I'll tell that people that full frame. I'm not anti-UC, although people think I am. I'm not. To me, up 8 against Central Florida yesterday with 2 minutes to go, I thought,
it's over.
Good Lord. My thought went to, my gosh, if they can beat Arizona tomorrow,
yes.
Holy cow.
Right.
Are they going to do this? Are they really
Yes.
going to do this?
Well, we were up by 10. I'm thinking that. I'm like, yeah, they could. But like for me, all this crap is going down right about 5 o'clock when I'm supposed to start this show, or 5:30 when I'm starting the show. So I'm literally listening to it.
Try to do 2 things.
Yeah, hitting the button, trying to find out what's going on. I was like, damn it, they're going to overtime. I'm like, all right, well, I can't listen to that. But I mean, I like a lot of stuff about Wes. He's a hell of a recruiter. He's a basketball junkie. The guys love playing for him. He's got everything you want except for coaching. Like his in-game situational coaching, running an offense, his rotation, who he subs in, who he subs out, when he does it. Like it's like they can like run an offense sometimes, and then sometimes it looks like they have no idea. They've never ran offense ever in their entire life. It's crazy. That's the stuff I can't stand.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't have Keyshawn Tillery in at the end of the regulation is beyond me. I mean, he's a rocket with the basketball.
Right.
He has his faults.
He's their best point guard, I think. All around point guard.
Best point guard. I would agree with that. I mean, he's not a great shooter per se, but
As far as distributing the ball, what point guards need to do and getting you in the right situation, that he's the best guy.
And at that stage of the game, up 8, where your main focus was let's just not turn it over and get us across half court and run some clock and let's go from there. He was a perfect option to do that, and you chose to ride with Jizzle James. And I get it. I mean, Jizzle, in theory, is a good player, but Jizzle has some just moments where he's not, and he had 2 big ones yesterday.
He hasn't developed. He's still, to me, the same player he was as a freshman, which you've been here 3 years. You should be Jizzle James. He should be the man. He's been here.
Should be the man.
As long as he's been here from a freshman, he stayed here the entire time. He should be the man on this team. He should be your Steve Logan. He should be your. I
don't know about Steve Logan, but he should. Be your guy.
That's not the height of Steve Logan, but that type of player for the Bearcats, and he's not. That to me is like, well, that goes to not developing. I mean, Baba Miller, the guy can go and score 20 and 10, and then he can go a half and score nothing.
It's weird.
And to me, that's coaching. Get on it. Go get the ball. It's stuff
weird.
like that. It's just weird stuff like that would happen all the time. And it's just like, you can't have that, especially in my opinion, no offense against the SEC, but Big 12's one of the best, if not the best basketball conference in the country. I mean, you can't have that stuff. And you see him. He's had 2 really good wins this year. He beat Iowa State and he beat Kansas by 20 points. So it's like,
that's
when you see that, it's like, all right, where's that been all the time? Why can't we do that?
That's the frustrating part, I think.
Yes.
You see that and you think, okay, the potential is there. You're not going to get it every night, mind you, but the potential is there. And you lose to West Virginia, you lose to Xavier, you lose to Eastern Michigan. I mean,
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech without without JT Toppin.
Right. Yeah.
Frustrating.
It's been frustrating. I've been. It's time for him to go. 6 years. We haven't made the NCAA tournament. I think 7 years.
It's been
2 years of Brandon, now 5 years of West. Mick was last time, and
it was Mick's last time. I'm doing this all the time. It was Mick's last time, the Nevada meltdown, or was it the one after that?
That was the one after that.
Okay,
it was a year after that. The Nevada. Don't even get me started on that one.
That was crazy.
I still can't believe we lost that game. That team should have been easily went to the Sweet 16. Easily, but that was a good. But they didn't. All right, so let's roll on to the Reds here, and so they did some stuff this offseason. My biggest pet peeve with them right now is the whole Hunter Green thing. Hunter Green came out and said he had elbow soreness at the end of last year. Apparently he got it checked out. His UCL is fine. He knew he had bone chips in there. So they did nothing about it. He got a shot before spring training started because he had issues with his elbow. Then they go back and look at his elbow. Hey, he's got bone chips. He's got to get the surgery. Why the hell didn't they do that in the offseason?
Well, don't forget, that's not on them as much as it's probably on Hunter Green. And listen, I'm not here to tell you I ever would tell someone to have surgery. I've never, I've broken a bone here and a bone. I've never had surgery in my life. So I think I've told you this. I'm not pointing the finger at you. I'm just saying.
No, yeah.
I think we always look at these athletes about surgery like, oh, it's part of the deal, and like it's nothing. Dude, you're getting your body.
It's not nothing. Yeah.
It's not nothing.
No.
But to the point of what you're saying, was an injection or a shot really going to do away with bone chips?
Right.
Those things float around in there. I'm not an expert on it. I know enough about it. Like, not getting that fixed without it probably somebody cutting on it and getting those out of there. And that's the part that's really frustrating to me, that he did have the offseason to get this fixed. And then, Terry Francona sounds very frustrated. Like, he didn't tell me his arm hurt last year. He told the pitching coach sometimes, but he never told me. I need
to let the manager know.
And then the very first start he had this spring, or really the only start he had this spring, he got rocked, right? And that happens in spring training.
Yeah,
so that day, my boss and I trade off on, because the Associated Press doesn't do this any longer, we trade off writing like 6 or 7 paragraphs on Red spring training games to put it on our website at local12.com. And that was my day to do it. And so I saw the box score. I'm like, let me see if I can find Hunter talking to somebody and see if maybe something's wrong physically, because that seems odd. Or he was just trying to work on stuff. Saw a video of him, said, no, I feel fine physically. I was just trying to fill up the zone and, was probably filled it up too much, and that's why they were able to hit me around. Okay, man, I'm going to take you at your word. And then 5 days later, elbow stiffness, and then MRI, and then bone chips, and then he even talks of, well, I hope I can be back for the pennant stretch. Now, the only positive I'll spin to this is the following. A, I'm super excited to see Rhett Lauder and Chase Burns in this rotation.
Yes.
Again, not at the expense of Hunter Green, but I'm super excited because I think they both are just tremendous.
Yep.
The other part to this is Hunter Green started 19 games last year and you made the playoffs. Let's just go the argument. Let's just go I don't want to go the nuclear option of he has setbacks along the way. 14 to 16 weeks. July-ish.
July, yeah.
You can get 16 starts out of Hunter Green over the last 3 months. That's only 3 less than last year, and you're getting a hopefully fully healthy, no innings on his arm at this point, Hunter Green for the stretch.
It's like making a trade.
Yeah, it's literally like making a trade because it's going to be right around the trade deadline. If you just added an all-star arm that's healthy to your rotation, I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's the first thing. I mean, I was after getting over because I was irritated when this whole thing happened, and I read the story about that he could have got this done in the offseason. But then, same thing you're just saying. If he has no setbacks and everything comes back in the second half, that's your ace. That's
your trade.
Right, that's your trade. And it gets it gets innings off of Burns and Lauder, but it gets some experience.
Yes.
But you have your ace coming back, hopefully down the stretch. So it's a good. I like that, and I hate that at all the same time. You know,
what if Burns and Lauder and Lodolo and Abbott pitch up to their potential, which Abbott is all-star potential because he made an all-star team. Burns and Lauder are first-round picks who've shown
Burns could be
electric. I just think Lauder is just one of those guys where he doesn't have the stuff of Burns, but he's a better pitcher. He's just
he's like Abbott.
Super.
He's like Abbott.
He's Abbott.
Yes.
That's a good call. Lodolo, again, health is always a factor. And Brady Singer's your 5. What if I go in at the end of the year at that point and go, man, these other 4 dudes are pitching like the dudes we thought, and Brady Singer's been okay. He's kept us in games. He's doing what a 5th starter does. And I take a 5th starter out and put Hunter Green in.
Right.
Sign me up for it. But it is super frustrating just because it feels like with this guy, it's always something.
It's always something. Now, I want to roll back to college basketball. I did forget this.
Sure.
Shout out here to Crown Apple Kid here. Miami Redhawks. They have been my son, full disclosure, my son graduated from Miami. I'm a Bearcat, but I do have a little bit, I love the story of Miami. What they've done this year. Travis Steele, getting fired at Xavier, coming back, rebuilding Miami. They're getting a brand new arena and everything. Everything's rolling. 31-0. And unfortunately, they lost today. Now, what's going to piss me off is if they don't get them in there, because all I keep hearing is, they didn't play, but you play who you play. They've tried, from what I've heard, they've tried to schedule the teams. Nobody wanted to play them. That's not their fault. They're 31-1 now. That deserves at least the first 4 in, or last 4, whatever, not the first round, up in Dayton, those games. At least get them in there. What's your thought? Do they make it?
Yeah, I do think they make it, and I do think that's their scenario now is to go to Dayton for the first 4. You may not like it, but what you do then is you put a team that's got probably a better resume than Miami does based on other metrics, the net, the RPI, the new one, which is wins above bracket. And you say, okay, you know what? You want in the big dance, the total big dance? Then guess what, brother? You got to go beat one of these teams whose resume I'm with you. I think the 31-0 deserved in no matter what happened in the MAC tournament. But I would tell you, if you look at some blind resumes, right? And I gave you blind resume of some 19-13 team versus theirs. I didn't give you a record. I didn't tell you their name. And
it should be better.
Well, they got more quad 1 wins, and they got more quad 2 wins, and their net's a little better, and their RP. Ooh, I got to take this team. And I go, that team's not even going to make it based on a lot of bracketologists. This team is. And you'd say, wait a minute, that doesn't sound fair. But, man, 31-0 is 31-0. It's and it wasn't like listen, they lost to a team that was 16-15. That happens in conference tournaments. They blew a 9-point lead with 7 minutes to go.
They're going to struggle against strong teams on the interior, and that's what UMass had. That's what's going to hurt them.
I'll be honest with you, probably the 11 seed they match up with in Dayton, if that's the case. And I do think they get in. Joe Lunardi today, he's not the be-all, end-all. I'm a big bracket matrix guy. Bracket matrix still has them in at the moment. I don't think there's. I think all the good part for them is, I will tell you this, that a lot of bubble teams that have been like 10 of the bubble, they have all lost. They've all not helped themselves.
Especially SMU losing was huge.
Right before I came on, Auburn blew like a 14-point lead and was down 8 to Tennessee. I think they probably lost. That would make them 17-16. I'm sorry. Give me the 1-loss team over the 16-loss team, and I don't give a damn who either one played. I just don't. So, but the goofy part is, if you're a Ken Pom guy, their Ken Pom rating Miami's is terrible. It probably would be one of the worst, if not the worst of all time, to make an NCAA tournament. But I go back to, there's a big new metric, wins above bubble. They actually, going into today, were 27th in the country in wins above bubble. They were ahead of Kentucky, is comfortably in the NCAA tournament. It's probably a 6 or 7 seed, and rightfully so. I'm not dissing them.
Right.
But their wins above bubble. Now, I don't know what a MAC loss to a UMass does to wins above. Does it like drop them like a rock? I don't imagine it drops them too much to the point where you're like, ooh, they're down in the 60s all of a sudden after they're probably down in the 40s. That's still a comfortable NCAA tournament team. So yeah, I think A, they're deserving. I think B, I get, again, if I gave you blind dye, my friend and I used to do this with each other all the time. We'd throw 5 teams and go, pick the one of the 5 that should go in, and we'd always pick the wrong team, and we'd always go, wait, that's really their resume? Oh,
right.
Okay,
Exactly. It's crazy.
And so, like I said, if you put resumes up, I mean, if you go to Ken Pom, Xavier and UC are ahead of Miami.
Well, because they're in the Big 12 and Big East.
Correct.
They're going to play better teams.
No, correct. But again, it depends on what metric you want to use.
Right.
Wins above bubble one seems to be the in vogue. I honestly don't even know what goes into it. I don't think anybody's ever explained what goes into it, but I'm going to let that be that going to be the metric. I just saw somebody said Kyler did sign with the Vikings, so there we go, and that's not a surprise. But thank you for that. So yeah, I think once they finish that Ohio U game on that Friday night to go to 31-0, I didn't care when they lost in the MAC tournament. I was hoping they didn't there in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and that Ohio U game was nuts.
Amazing.
It was.
I fell asleep at halftime because I'd had a few cocktails on a Friday night. My wife was watching the game, and she literally goes, "Get your ass up and watch the end of this." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I couldn't stop watching. It was unbelievable.
Oh, it was that crowd was electric. I mean, they got a little too rowdy there at the end, throwing stuff on the court, but that's amazing. What college basketball is all about. That was an awesome game. And
I wish people understood the pressure that Miami had on it. Not because of NCAA tournament, but you had a chance to do something historic. Finish a regular season undefeated. And you're playing your rival on their home
which
court.
They haven't beat them there in how many years?
Correct. Well, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So to do that is phenomenal. Today's disappointing, and they've left open the question of do they get in. I just don't see how the committee can go, yeah, that's your one loss, and I know your schedule. And their schedule did suck. I'm sorry, it did suck. Nobody, but I would say it sucked, but I'd challenge anybody, and I would include an Arizona, include anybody. Go through the MAC undefeated. See how easy you think that really is. Go to some of these road trips. Go to Akron. Go to Miami. Would they do it? Probably, but I couldn't tell you definitively they would. And Miami did it. They did that in a really good mid-major conference. That's hard to freaking do.
Exactly. Now, this is one thing I did bring up, and I'm glad Brad's actually answered the question. Skinny, does UC go after Travis Steele? Which he's a former Xavier coach. He's at Miami. I don't know. What do you think?
I think Travis has built a great thing at Miami, and part of what he's built it on is the fact that he's been able to retain some kids. When you're at a UC or any school of that ilk, you better be a transfer portal monster, and I don't know that he is. I just don't, because he hasn't had to do it. He's been able to recruit primarily high school kids, not all. Some of it's gone through the portal. But I know a couple kids like Ian Elmer I coached against. He went to Holmes and then Taft. Is now a 3-year player. Evan Ipsaro, who got hurt, that's where I thought their death knell. When Evan Ipsaro got hurt, their point guard, I thought, wow, they're done. He played at Covenant Catholic. They're our main rival in Northern Kentucky where I coach. And I was disappointed. But Evan's a 3-year guy. Peter Suter's been around for a bit. I mean, so they've had guys be around for a bit. I think that's great. I think that's awesome that's kind of what he's decided and been able to do of retain guys. Like, I'm not so sure after this year Ian Elmer sticks around. I think Ian Elmer can go play, probably get paid at a big school.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's good.
but he's been able to maintain that. Can he do that at a UC? And I just.
Well,
It's not a knock. I wonder if Travis has some family money on his wife's side. He's making $350.
It's young kids too, and they like it here.
Yeah, they love it here.
Supposed to build a big house too. I heard.
They still live in Cincinnati, so it'd be a great fit in that regard.
Right.
That's where the whole conversation of would Travis take a job outside of this area to take another swing. Mm-hmm. I mean, you took a swing at the Big Apple at a Xavier, and it didn't work out. It wasn't a flaming flame out. But it didn't work out.
He actually kind of reminds me of Wes Miller. I don't think he was ready for a big time program like Xavier. I don't think Wes was ready for a big time program at UC. They were both too young, too inexperienced to do it. Wes could go somewhere and flourish, and then his next job he might be big. I don't know, but that's kind of that's what I think about that.
I think Travis would be on your list, but I think you're looking for somebody from a bigger program first. Whether it's a Calhoun.
Now, another name here people keep throwing up is Chris Mack. What do you think about him?
I don't see. That's the one I don't see, and I love Chris to death. I mean, he's a friend. I root for Chris. I think Chris is a terrific coach. Trust me, I mentioned I'm a coach. I've stolen probably more inbounds plays from Chris Mack than I've stolen from anybody because I just think he's an underneath inbounds genius. The Xavier connection doesn't feel right.
That's where that's where I have a hard time with it.
Listen. He did do some really good things at U of L that we'll never know about because the one year that he was really having major success was the COVID year. So we don't know how that would have turned out. I mean, hell, who knows? Dayton was going to be a 1 seed that year, but it wasn't. So we don't know how that would have turned out. Mm-hmm. I don't see that. Honestly, I would say if Travis were to take the UC job and it were offered to him, I think Chris back to Miami would be a nice fit.
Ooh. There you go.
But yeah, Chris's name's out there. I root for Chris. Like I said, I think he's a terrific coach. I think sometimes maybe he's a coach, and I know a coach who's locally a guy, I won't name names, but he took a couple swings at the Big Apple and went up the tree, and then it didn't work out, and he fell back into a spot where he's coaching Division I basketball and really enjoying it, making good enough coin, and at some point you just go, you know what? I'm good with this. I don't need to try to do this again. Now, listen, some guys will go, give me that challenge one more time. Right. I want this challenge. And Chris Mack is a competitive dude, and maybe he would. Mm-hmm. I just think it's going for a fresher name, whether that's right or wrong.
So, all right, real quick, I'll get you out of here on this. If they do, which I hope and pray, I think they're going to fire Wes Miller.
I do too.
What name do you think, if you're going to put money on it today, who do you think they go after?
There's 3 for me. Calhoun's one just because he is a UC grad. He coached here. He's having good success. Now you could also argue that I'd like to see him do it for longer.
Right.
The thing for Josh Schertz is he's done it in 2 places. He's done it at Indiana State. He's doing it at St. Louis. Now they have kind of bottomed out a little bit here as the season ended, but they're still going to be in the tournament as probably a 7-ish seed and probably a scary 7 seed. I have a friend I coached with in high school at Beachwood High. He used to be the head coach of Lawrenceburg High School, and he's just a big-time basketball junkie. He goes around sometimes during the off-season before we start practice to go visit colleges. He made it a point to go watch a St. Louis practice and came back, and he's like, that dude's a freaking savant, man. I'm just telling you, the stuff he runs, he is a savant. I'm like, okay, I trust you, and he's having really good success. He's done it in 2 different programs. Those are the main 2, and then do you look at okay, Chris Holtman, it didn't work out great at Ohio State. It still was pretty good. He's done some nice things at DePaul, which nobody's been able to win anything at DePaul.
Not since the 80s.
Yeah,
Mark
correct.
McGuire.
Yeah, not since the old man Meyer and a little bit of Joey.
Yep.
Is he kind of he's been there, done that, and done okay. He's had pretty good success. Maybe you go that route. And again, maybe Travis is in play. I don't think he's way off the list. I just think he'd be down the list. And maybe that's not fair. Maybe you say, dude, he's coached his way back into this. Okay. But man, you better know the portal. You better attack the portal.
You have to know it now. There's no getting around it. If you don't know the portal in Division I basketball, you have no shot.
And I'll be honest with you, football. And maybe Travis is one of those coaches that goes, I don't want to F with the portal.
Right.
I
Yeah,
want
he
to go
might.
recruit my guys and develop my guys. And will I go to the portal to supplement that? Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't need to attack the portal every year to go get 8, 9, 10 guys and try to do this and teach everybody. I mean, there's something to be said for continuity. Trust me, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to have guys in your program for 2 or 3 years and you're not teaching the same stuff to new guys, hoping they are then cohesive,
I mean,
I just don't know.
look at
I
this.
don't.
If he keeps doing what he's got going on at Miami, and he goes and has a chance to win the Miami Conference every year, every other year, go to the NCAA tournament, that's and you got stability, which is really hard to get in coaching.
Yep.
That's hard to just give up. I mean,
It is. I know you can argue that, look, Wes Miller's got a chance to get from 4.9 mil to 9.6 mil to walk away, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason
money.
for that. But at some point, I don't say money's not everything. I'm not stupid. I like money too, like the next guy does.
And they're in two different spots too. Wes Miller's a single guy. Travis is not. He's got a family of 4 kids.
Got family. You're making good money. It's not like you're living on food stamps, man. You're doing pretty well. Don't forget, wife has family money through her side of the family. They've got a really good business, and so I think it's going to be fascinating. I will tell you that, because there's a lot of avenues UC can go. But first things first, they got to figure out what they got to do with Wes Miller.
And they got to do it quick. So
Yes,
we'll see
sir.
what happens. Skinny, as always, man, it's been a pleasure.
bet.
I appreciate you coming on.
You
Plug
bet.
some stuff for you.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm glad we could work it out. Yeah, I got a story up on Orlando Brown, the agent, making money for Orlando Brown, the player. He negotiated his own contract, which I found just so fascinating today. Like in today's day and age, that he was able to pull that off.
I like the question. I think Kelsey asked if he'd go into being an agent after his.
I thought it was great too, because
Yeah.
it almost felt like that's kind of what he was angling for. Like,
Right.
let's test this out, see if it works. And I think it was more like, no, I'm just going to do it for me, and I don't need to do it for
I'll
other
keep all the
people.
money for myself.
Correct. I mean, it was genius.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no 3% cut the agent gets.
He's like,
paying himself.
all I do is walk up to Mr. Brown's office. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Let me just tell you this. We were talking as a group today, and I think it was Paul Daner said he's right. Guys, if you want to get through to Mike Brown, I'm serious about this. If you want to get through to Mike Brown, write him a letter. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Write the man a letter. The man likes looking at letters. He likes reading letters. You think that's crazy? It doesn't have to be a long letter like, hey,
But
man,
be
fix your
nice.
front office. Yeah, be
Be
nice.
nice.
Be respectful.
Yeah.
But if you want to get through to him, you can do all the screaming on your show,
Yep.
on radio, on
Everywhere.
whatever medium you want to scream about. Write the man a letter.
Yep.
I promise you, he'll at least read it.
Yeah, he'll read it. I know that for a fact. So
There you go.
It's he doesn't. I won't say he doesn't know about the internet, but he doesn't really look at it.
No, dude. Trust me.
Which cracks me up. People on comments here are like, we got to keep talking. Because I know the Bengals are listening. Like, I don't think the Bengals give 2 craps about my show.
Oh, they listen. I've had an executive that wrote me and said, "Hey, man, I really enjoy your writing, even if I disagree with it. Doesn't mean I'm ever going to agree with it.
That's
I'm fine
you.
with that."
They're not listening to me.
Yeah, but again, doesn't mean they're agreeing with what I'm writing. He appreciates the opinion. So I'm like, okay, I appreciate that you appreciate the opinion. Can you maybe change your ways on occasion?
Can you
So
listen to it?
There you go.
Exactly. All right, Skinny. Appreciate
guys.
you, brother.
Yep,
it
take care,
easy.
buddy.
See you. All right, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Skinny is awesome. The man literally covers sports. He knows all Cincinnati sports. And we didn't even talk about Kentucky basketball because, well, I don't really talk about Kentucky basketball. We can sometime. We'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Party Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Party Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. Their website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
And as always, shout out to all my great sponsors, Meyer, Window, Door, More, T Properties, Priority Lawn and Landscaping. It's getting warmer. It got kind of cold today, but you got some landscaping stuff you need done, you need your yard cleaned up. Hell, if you just want to do it yourself, you want to buy some mulch or rock or anything like that, give Priority Lawn and Landscaping a call. And also shout out to Cincinnati Logger House. It's not Moline Logger House, Cincinnati Logger House of Cincinnati. Just call it the Logger House. I will be getting up the new stuff here. If not tomorrow, it'll be up next week. If you guys are stressed out about the Bengals or you're happy about what the Bengals did, go on down to the Logger House and have a couple of drinks and eat some of their delicious food. I highly, highly recommend it. But other than that, as always, thanks for watching. I'll be live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, Instagram. You can follow me on all those, along with Threads and TikTok. Check out my Substack. I actually wrote an article today. I wrote this before they signed Jonathan Allen, but I'm still, and this one I didn't get a chance to ask Skinny about when we kind of hinted at it. The article is more about how the Bengals fail at moving quickly with the times. Quickly, I don't even say quickly with time. It's more of quickly with how fast free agency moves. It's quick, and I don't think they have enough guys in the office to keep up with it. But apparently, Orlando Brown talked to somebody else when he was negotiating his contract. So apparently there are guys in there that do negotiate other than Katie and Troy, but they don't move fast. Anyway, check out the article. Like I said, it's on my Substack. Also, I'll be pulling us off later on tonight, put it on the podcast. If you guys want to check it out, if you drive around the car, on a run, whatever, check it out. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Do me a favor. Listen to it, rate it, like it, review it, leave a 5-star review, and I comment some more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. That just helps the algorithm out, helps out this algorithm when you hit the thumbs up and you share the show out. Appreciate all you 117 of you watching. We got up to over 200 watching at one time, so appreciate all you guys. Appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. Tomorrow, we are going to have a fun Friday show. Yeah, AC, the Godfather, and of course, Dale Altman from Bengals and Brews. And who knows? Maybe the Bengals will sign somebody else. Maybe Max Crosby. I'm going to speak it into existence. We'll see what happens. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember one thing and one thing only, as always, that it's Who Day for life. And everybody throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.